He's another first timer. Give him another dose. Make him feel welcome.
What virgins? Yeah. I want to talk to you guys after. You appreciate my jokes. So this month, this year, we celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act, which passed in 1965. This is a poem about that. It's called All Our Hazy Rhetoric. She takes a long drag from her cigarette and releases the smoke into the night air. It hovers thick over Atlanta. We sit atop the roof of her building downtown, each downing our third beer, letting the conversation flow wherever we feels it needed. Politics interjects, and the circus of candidates closely follows. I tell her how I've never voted for a president and really don't plan to. She holds her breath and lets the tobacco work its magic. But her eyebrows tell me everything I need to know. I see the unmistakable disdain, the coddling look of pobrecito, mixed with anger over waste. I begin preparing myself for the assault that is soon to follow. I wait, ready for the infuriated strike, but her eyebrows shift and all she says is, why? I fought this battle before on different fields, and I launch my strategic artillery like a political symphony. The Electoral College is its own literacy test, and the hurdle is reading how to trust ourselves to care enough to know more of the back-channeling politics than the polished front presented to us in civics class. Because our governments don't trust us to make the right choices, so they really only let a few members choose. A government for certain people, of certain people, by certain people. She lets me finish, and then responds to my litany like a chorus. Justin, you have to vote. Justin, you have to vote. Justin, you have to vote for me. In 1965, the Voting Rights Act passes. President Lyndon B. Johnson says the word Negro so many times in his announcement speech, as if telling a man what he is isn't awkward enough. In 2013, the Supreme Court extracts the teeth from the very same Voting Rights Act, like a backwoods southern dentist with homebrew and aesthetic. Literacy tests, poll taxes, and grandfather clauses rise from their graves and begin cryptic crawling back into the House. Of the ruling, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg said, hubris is a fit word for today's demolition of the VRA. This hubris, this arrogance, is the inbred cousin of the one that first told us that our children should only ever be allowed to try the ice cream that matches their skin, that only one will stain your weekend shirt. Because every Sunday is bloody from Selma to Montgomery, and Jim Crow still stands out in the middle of the southern cornrows and crop circles, scaring those who never learned or never remember our history. I wanted to tell her that we're generationally gaining our humanity back, that the great white nation has returned from its great white flight and learned something of other winds. But I'm not so sure anymore. It has been 50 years since we first wished upon a 1965 star. We still have to whisper progress to ourselves with every passing century, or else the wish may get lost in all our hazy rhetoric and never have a chance to come true.